Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, broadcasting live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. The Nigerian Army recruits 5,890 soldiers as security forces kill 8 insurgents in Borno State. The Navy grapples with increased maritime crime in the midst of critical challenges. Ahead of the 2015 elections, yet another political alliance emerges to challenge Nigeria's ruling party, the PDP. And Nelson Mandela's coffin arrives at his ancestral home ahead of tomorrow's funeral. All our top stories can be found on our website, channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. To get us on the move, please visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones from their respective stores. You can also now interact with Channels Eyewitness feature on our Android and Windows 8 platforms. If you have a picture or video to share with us, please download the Channels TV Android app on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, and follow the instructions to share your report, pictures, and videos. The former Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nasir El-Rufai, has been speaking about the judgment by an Abuja Federal High Court which discharged him of charges of abuse of power by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission while in office. Malam El-Rufai told Channels Television that the judgment is a vindication of his innocence and a proof that the present government is deliberately using its agencies to persecute perceived political enemies. The former minister adds that the judgment shows that there are still credible judges who are determined to stand on the path of truth. Malam El-Rufai also wants President Goodluck Jonathan to respond to the letter written to him by former President Olusegun Obasanjo. Now it appears Nigeria's ruling party, the PDP, may have to contend with the political alliances outside the All Progressives Congress, going by yet another alliance that has emerged in the country. This is because 5 political parties say they are coming together as well to form a working political alliance. Announcing this at the emergency national executive meeting of the National Conscience Party, the national chairman of the party says the Advanced Congress of Democrats, Social Democratic Party, People's Redemption Party, National Conscience Party, and the Labour Party are joining forces to give Nigerians an alternative ahead of the elections. The group is also asking President Goodluck Jonathan to address some of the issues raised in the letter written by former President Olusegun Obasanjo. Our correspondent, Lanre Lasisi, reports.
As the year ends, political activities in the country have picked up. Following the merger of some political parties some months ago, another set of parties have formed an alliance.
We are pained that up to now, the Nigerian people are yet to count their blessings in full without making unpleasant reference to how they are being governed. That is why we resolve as a political party not to be part of any merger, but in a working alliance with other like-minded political parties, i.e. the Labour Party, the People's Redemption Party, the Advanced Congress of Democrats, and the Social Democratic Party, SDP, who are here present with the NCP in solidarity.
They've also appealed to President Goodluck Jonathan to address the country on the contents of the letter written by former President Olusegun Obasanjo and respond to the allegations raised in the letter.
But it is instructive to note that President Goodluck Jonathan should address the nation as a matter of urgency and answer most of the damning allegation which was leveled by the former president. which has placed this country on an unsecured situation.
Representatives of some of the political parties spoke on why they have come together as a new political front.
The parties on ground, from what you can see, are a mixed up of strange bedfellows with different ideas and different ideologies.
That is why people of like minds from different political parties that we share the same ideology, concern for our country, decide to come together as an alliance to see how we can contribute to the salvation of the situation our country finds itself.
The parties say details of their alliance would be presented to the public next year as a third alternative for the people ahead of the 2015 elections. Lanre Lasese, Channels Television News.
Reducing the level of corruption in the country, which has placed it amongst the most corrupt nations of the world, will require attitudinal change on the part of Nigerians. This is coming from the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences ICPC coordinator in charge of Oyo and Ogun States, Mr. Olusegun Olukile. He was addressing some students of public and private secondary schools, members of the organized private sector, and civil society organizations in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital.
Selected from both private and public schools in Ogun State, the students are being enlisted as agents of change in the task of reducing corruption, which has continued to slow down the pace of development.
To put them on the right path so that we can have a better society. The older generation is a bundle of disappointment. Bundle of disappointment in the sense that corruption started under our nose, it germinated, and it grew up to this unbearable level that is making life difficult for me and you.
The Provost of the Federal College of Education, Abeokuta, Dr. Ayodele Ajayi, is asking the political class to provide the much-needed political will towards fighting corruption, especially as the country moves towards another political dispensation come 2015.
We are going to have a transformation. There are three categories of people that will examine the roles they are playing in contributing to corrupt practices or in fighting against corruption. And the first part that I'm going to talk about are the political leaders, the people that are in high places. Every one of us should ask ourselves, before this person becomes a winner in an election, who was he? Where did he get the resources that he used to contest that election from? One person that contested in the gubernatorial seat recently told me that the nomination form from the party alone was 10 million.
Beyond this session, it has been suggested that the anti-corruption agencies on their own do the needful to promote equality of citizens in the fight against the scourge.
Bad leadership is a major drain on Nigeria's social and political development. This is coming from the Interim National Publicity Secretary of the All Progressives Congress, Mr. Lai Mohammed, who says that Nigeria is at the lowest ebb in terms of providing the dividends of democracy. Speaking at a public lecture organized by the Awolowo Center for Philosophy, Ideology and Good Governance in Osogbo, the Osun State capital, Mr. Mohammed said no government can achieve high standards of deliverables if the leaders are not focused.
This is the first edition of the Rauf Aregbesola Strategic Human Development Annual Lecture. Gathered here are men, women groups, as well as APC party members. The lecture is in commemoration of the third-year anniversary of Governor Rauf Aregbesola of Osun State, and also a time to share concerns on the current political trend in Nigeria.
By extension,
Guest speaker, the interim National Publicity Secretary of the All Progressives Congress, the APC, Mr. Lai Mohammed, said the leadership style adopted by public, political, business or civil society will determine the outcome of governance in their domain.
The leadership of any government is as good as the process that produces it. It is therefore no surprise that in most states, as well as at the federal level, performance of governments in terms of providing evidence of democracy and good governance is at its lowest level in Nigeria.
For the host governor, his administration adopts a leadership strategy that focuses on human development.
Totality of these human development programs are the greatest achievement of our organization. Without a doubt, I value the schools. I don't mean value. I value the markets. I don't mean value. They are not as sensitive. They are not as touching. They are not as life-changing as those human-focused programs that are today changing lives and giving hope for the future.
Ultimately, participants are being primed to set new standards in public governance through revolutionary visioning to ensure leaders show a good example to those they govern.
From human development to Millennium Development Goals, Governor Tanko Amakuru of Nasarawa State has called for the liberalization of the MDG's grant processes for local governments for Nigeria to attain the 2015 target. Mr. Amakuru made the call when the House of Representatives Committee on the Millennium Development Goals paid him a courtesy visit. According to him, the state government may not continue to fund its own part due to the depleting federal allocation to the state and local governments.
Members of the House of Representatives Committee on Millennium Development Goals at a meeting with the Nasarawa State Governor as they assessed the performance of the MDG's projects across the state. However, the state governor bears his mind on the challenges confronting the success of the programs. He said the state is considering increasing the drive for the internally generated revenue.
Where you approve local government tracts and the local government doesn't have the money, the temptation is for the state government to dip its hand in the stabilization account for all the local governments. I think this is undemocratic. And if we insist that such local government that doesn't have enough money to pay its salary should be given a local government tract where it will be paying 40% of the expected contribution, and the state pays 60% of the 50% contribution to the MDG, you will find that you will be tempted to be taking monies from other local governments only to fund another local government. All signs are on the wall that our allocation as from next year is really going to dwindle. So states have to look inwards in sustaining themselves.
Despite acknowledging the challenges, the chairman of the committee believes that Nigeria will beat the 2015 deadline for the projects.
I want to say without missing any words that Nigeria stands a very good chance of winning the MDGs by 2015 significantly. MDG 1 has already been made already. Going by the assessment of the United Nations, which is the coordinating agency, global coordinating institution, the United Nations, we were just given an award for excellent performance in winning Goal 1, Goal 2, Goal 3, 4, and 5 of the MDGs. So going by that assessment, I will have no doubt to state wherever I find myself that Nigeria will significantly succeed in the MDGs.
The committee will be hoping that the federal and state governments will be able to muster enough resources to ensure that the nation achieve most of the MDG target.
Still ahead on the news at 10. Our focus on health tonight centers on diabetes and ways to tackle the disease. Do join us again.